There we go.
There we go. Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Untethered Talk. This time not at 2:00, but still with Robin Thomas. So
Hello.
that's the best part.
Cheers. Whenever we get here, we get here.
Yeah, right. So Robin, you were just mentioning some of the stress that's been inherent lately and getting bigger. So I think that's a good idea to talk about that.
Sure, absolutely. I think this week has been kind of a really heavy week. I mean, astrologically, there's been some stuff, and like things are big planetary motion changes, and the full moon on Wednesday was intense. So I think people were like feeling that sort of overwhelm. And I think if like, I mean, that was true. That was true for me. That was true for my clients for sure. It's been that overwhelm has translated into stress, which when you couple this thought with the sort of stress inherent with this season, I think there's been some real intensity of emotions and experiences this week.
So how would that manifest? What do you
I mean, well, what came up for a lot of my clients was this like sense of I can only describe it as wallowing, right? There was like I had a pity party, a couple of my clients had a pity party, some friends of mine were like, oh my God. It was just this like intensity of like, woe is me, but like more than just woe is me. It was like, what is the futility of all of it? Like it really felt like heavy and dense, right?
The futility thought is always like the worst.
Yes.
That's like key in depression. It's just like, what the fuck's the point?
Exactly. Why are we doing this? We do all of this, right? Like, what is the point? And I think we were all sort of feeling that very intensely, especially this week.
Yeah.
So that's what it manifests as, like not wanting to get up. It manifests as feeling frustrated. It manifests as not wanting to have to be with people. It manifests as like just wanting to sleep more. It manifests as, for me, it was like I was like, I want to do something other than what I'm doing right now, right? Like, I don't care what it is. I just, right. So it was really like it felt like shackles. It felt like a heaviness. It really felt like a energy.
I get that. Yeah, I get that. When people are feeling shackled, what can they do?
Honestly, I think what has to happen is, first of all, we have to acknowledge that that's true. Like, we have to feel it. And I think so many of us don't recognize that what we feel, we think it's all exclusively ours. Like, we think that we're the only people feeling it. So I do think there's a part of it that we have to acknowledge that that's a collective energy, that's true in the big macrocosm as well. So it's like recognizing that some of it's yours. Absolutely, it's yours to heal, but some of it is not yours. And just like we just did with the cord cutting, getting in the habit of like releasing what's not yours is really powerful. Like but I don't think you can know that until you feel it. So you have to sort of acknowledge that you feel what you feel, and that it's okay to feel it.
Right. That's something I and other people definitely struggle with. Like, you feel like you shouldn't be feeling something, and that adds to the stress.
Absolutely. I just was talking to a client this morning, saying that there's no bad feelings. And she just was like, well, what, that's a bad feeling. I was like, there's no bad feelings. The feeling is the feeling. It's energy in motion. It is just a feeling. If we feel it and it makes us feel bad, and then we judge ourselves for feeling it, now we've got anxiety.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just the feeling.
Yeah. If you added, I remember when I discovered that, and I stopped for the most part judging myself for having these emotions and being like, shit, this is so much easier. This is so much easier. There's so much less panic and stress and fear, because you're not trying to get away from them. You're not trying to get away from it.
Exactly. Because you're never going to. You're never going to be able to escape it.
Telling
Like
you.
you're just going to compound the issue, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then we get addicted to busy, and then we can't settle, and then we can't we can't, we're frenetic almost.
Frenetic. That's exactly the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the word. There was something you just mentioned that I wanted to go on. When you say some of the energy is yours and some of it's not yours, I think people out there might be like, what?
So
What are you talking about, Robin?
one of the greatest gifts I ever gave myself was learning how to have a relationship with myself. Because I don't know, for probably 38 of my years, I didn't know that what I was feeling wasn't just exclusively mine. Like I had no idea that I was empathic and that I maybe pick up on other people's shit and that it was sometimes most of the time not mine. And I had no idea. So I just assumed it was mine and I would try to fix me, tell me what's wrong with me, and I'll fix it. Once I started developing a relationship with myself, I started to ask myself the question, is this mine? And sometimes the answer was yes, it's mine. Great, I'll heal it, I'll deal with it. When the answer was no, I was like, fantastic, go away. I just was like, give it up to God, give it up to the universe. But like, we are empathic beings. Like there's at an energetic level, there's no distance between us. There's no separation. There's no separation. We're all consciousness. And so
yes.
there's a collective.
I see it as this like energy field, like that the physical world is put upon. You know what I mean? Like it's created from this energy, but then like there's this, I see consciousness as like just like collections of this energy.
Yes.
Like enough of it is here that it's conscious of itself.
Exactly. But the reality is we're all atoms just vibrating at different frequencies, right? So it's like there's nothing that's like, it's all energy. And
It's
even,
all energy.
that's a modern science, that is a
energy.
quantum physics concept. Yes, right.
Yes.
So you can't separate yourself. They call it observer bias. It's a known phenomenon. You can't separate yourself from the thing that you're looking at. You can't physically, because it's going to change the thing that you're looking at.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's something it's a recent discovery. I mean, the stuff that you talk about, chakras and energy and stuff like that, I believed in up until recently, and now it's like that's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah,
right.
It's true. It's real.
Right.
But yeah, I remember you just can't. Like if you told me everything is energy back then, I'd be like, oh yeah, of course, definitely. Let's talk about it. It's so interesting. But now it's like it's energy.
Everything is energy, which includes your emotions. Emotion is energy in motion. That's emotion, right? So if everything's energy, including your emotions, your job is to let it pass through like a wave.
Yes.
Period.
Right.
Right?
Hold on to them. Yeah.
If it stops, it becomes a particle. And if it's a particle, it's stuck in the past. It can't, it's a particle is only like one tiny moment in time as a particle, right? I'm getting deep into physics and I know it might go over the heads of some people, but there's in physics, you're either states of matter, states of energy, states of whatever, is either a wave in motion or a particle. It's a particle when you look at it. That's the observer bias. It's only a particle when you look at it. Otherwise, it's a wave.
It's like light.
Exactly. And so if you stop something, it becomes a particle. Add enough particles on top of each other, you get a human, you get a desk, you get a chair, you get a phone, right? Because particles are stacked on top of each other, right? It's nuts. Right.
And it's awesome, but it's just like blows my mind.
It's mind-blowing, right? And it's a phone because you think it's a phone. The particles are organized in space in that time because you expect to see that phone as a phone, right? My beautiful, amazing 10-year-old has this conversation with me all the time. She's like, Mama, what if the thing that we look at is I see it totally different than you see it, and I see it, and you don't know that I see it differently because we see it because I look at it the way I look at it because it goes through my space. And she I'm like, my 10-year-old understands quantum physics in a way that I don't. Right?
Okay.
Because she's already upgraded. So she gets it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also she has you for a mother. Like,
Well, okay, yes, true.
I mean, if I had had you for a mother, like things would be very different.
Fair point. But like she told me this when she was like 3. Like when she was not even 3. I had just separated from her, and she said to me, "Mama, when I'm not with you, do you miss me?" And I said, "Well, yeah, babe, of course I miss you." And she said, "Mama, don't miss me. I in your heart, and you in my heart, and we together, Mama." Like it was fact for her. She wasn't 3 yet. Like she was barely speaking words.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So she came in knowing this shit. I just didn't break her.
Right.
Mostly.
Right. Well, and you brought the knowledge out, like honestly.
Yeah.
You
So
know, definitely. I mean, like she's definitely benefiting this. There's no leg in here. Hang on. She's definitely has the benefit. Like if she had, for instance, been in a family that
if
doesn't,
she had been born to muggles.
that's it. If she'd been born to muggles, she would have a lot of issues.
Absolutely.
I know that.
I had one muggle parent and one non-muggle parent. So I have like I
was yeah surrounded by muggles as a child, but not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, there's no judgment. But
it's just two different
ways of seeing the world. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And even muggles have to feel their feelings.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's almost more important.
Everybody needs to feel their feelings, but yeah. Right.
Yeah. And I think yeah, definitely. So when you are empathic and when you recognize that some energy is your energy and some energy isn't, what is the energy that's not?
It's part of the collective. It's part of the like I said, the full moon affects everybody on the planet. Whether you feel it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not, whether you believe it or not, the full moon affects the planet. So this full moon this past month, this the other day, was a big deal because of where it is with the rest of the planets and the rest of them. I'm not going to get into the astrology of it. It was a big deal because of how how planets are transiting. Mm-hmm. Neptune has an influence on our planet. Neptune was retrograde. Now it's stationed direct just ahead of the full moon, which is conjunct where it's near where Mars. There's a whole slew of things. Doesn't matter. But like knowing that there are big things that are happening in the world energetically, moons, planets, changes in like shifts, can allow you to accept that maybe some of it isn't yours. Mm. Right? Mm-hmm. If you feel like blah and you have no like real, you ask yourself, what is this? What am I feeling? Yeah. If you just sit for a second with curiosity, like, what do I feel right now? You can pretty quickly understand, is it yours or is it not yours? If it's yours, there'll be a cause. There'll be something there.
Okay. And if it's not
yours, you'll be like, I don't know why I just feel this blah. I don't know why I feel it.
Okay.
Right?
It's just coming out
of nowhere. It's like sometimes I wake up in the morning anxious. I'm like, what am I anxious? I've done nothing. I'm anxious. Right? Most of the time that's not mine. I've just been unconscious in the collective energy, and so many people are that you're just picking up on it. Like if you ever go to like a mall at Christmas time. Right? Because the collective energy is stressed, consumer, gotta buy, gotta get, gotta blah, 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 right?
I hate them all at Christmas time.
I'm not a particular fan of Christmas because of the stress that it isn't so involved with it. I'm learning. I'm trying to I'm trying to not take on the stress, and I'm trying to just enjoy the magic of the season. Lily loves Christmas, and so I really do try to but I've never been a fan of Christmas. Mm. Was that my upbringing because it was always a stressful time for my parents who didn't have a lot of money? Maybe. Like, who knows what it is? But I know it's not. It's never been my favorite, right? I just would. So I have to do a lot of safeguards. If I'm going to the mall at Christmas time, I've got shields. I've got a suit of armor. I've got mirrors. I'm like, this is my dance space.
out.
Right, exactly. Like, and I cut cords, I clear my energy. When I get back to the car, I ground, I center, I come back to me because I have that relationship with myself already.
So how, I mean, I know like this is probably like a 3-day constant talking. But
Yeah, no, I mean, this is the crux of the work that I do, right? This is really, truly.
right? But how do you have a relationship? How do you do that? Get a relationship with yourself.
Stop judging yourself for feeling what you feel. Right? Like, honestly, meet yourself where you're at. You feel something, allow it to be okay. Period. I don't care what you feel. I don't care what you feel towards whom. Whatever it is that you feel, try really hard to just let it move through you. Like a lot of times what I do with my clients is they'll come in and be like sometimes crying, whatever's going on. And I'll be like, feel it. And they're like, what? And then I say, I want you to amplify it by 1 degree. They're like, what? I don't want to feel this. And I'm like, great, amplify it by 1 degree. Allow it to actually move through you.
Right. Because when the energy actually, and I'm realizing this because, oh my God, these energies in my body, and I've been talking about this on Untethered, like it's driving me insane. They move, and I know, and I have some control over them when I'm paying attention to them. But when they all ball up, like if it's shooting up towards my head, but not coming out, when there's enough of it.
So in those
It
moments,
breaks through.
in those moments, what you can do is first of all release it. Open your 7th chakra, right? Open your 7th chakra and allow it to release. Call in that divine white light down from the heavens and let it clear your channel. Ground into the earth, and either let it go down through that grounding cord, or again go out into the whatever divine to be transmuted. But don't keep it trapped. Right?
That's the thing.
Right? Like open it like the sky dome. Exactly.
So but yeah, I guess to your point, like when the energy is amplified, when it's intensified, that it's more likely to break through.
Well, it's more like, so if you're fighting against something that you don't want to feel, you're creating a big deal for that emotion. You're creating that particle. You're creating a wall. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel this. It's building up. So if I ask you to intensify the feeling, you're giving yourself permission to feel it. As soon as you give yourself permission to actually feel it, you've already opened it up. You've already given it permission to flow through.
I really wish a lot more people would recognize that. I mean, that's something that I recognized a while ago, and the understanding of it has evolved. And certainly there are definitely feelings that I have that I'm like, you're stupid for feeling that.
but like that judgment of yourself is what's keeping you out of relationship with yourself.
I know. And it's something I'm working on, having compassion for myself.
Right.
And also like, hey, Jen, you're not a bad person.
Right.
You're really not.
You're really not bad. You're really a good. What if it's not that you're not a bad person? What if you're actually a good person?
I am a good person.
Fantastic.
But I think people really need to have compassion for themselves.
Absolutely.
They don't recognize that. They don't realize that.
Right.
You know, when I'm talking on becoming untethered, I've had people come up to me or message me or whatever, and they get in touch with me and they say like, oh my God, like I didn't know other people felt that way.
Right. Exactly. That's my point. It goes back to the original. You don't know that it's not just you feeling this feeling.
Yeah, and it's not people with mood disorders, which is what I originally was like, this is the people I'm going for. It's everybody. Everybody feels this way. Everybody thinks this way in some degree or another.
I spent, like I said, it took me to 40 to figure out that there wasn't something inherently wrong with me.
Well,
that was almost 8 years ago now, but like it took me to 40 to figure out there wasn't something fundamentally wrong with me. And I was doing personal development work for 25 years.
Right?
So,
finally.
Like this was a project. My entire adult life, I was doing personal development work to get to the place where I could believe most of the time that there wasn't something fundamentally wrong with me.
And that's another thing I think people, like, for instance, well, no, you know what, I'm gonna just, I think people don't realize that this is a long-term.
Oh yeah, this is a journey.
this is like all day, every day for the rest of your life.
Consciousness is a full-time job. Karen May says it all the time. Consciousness is a full-time job. And it's like I was thinking the other day, I was rereading the Harry Potter series for a lot of reasons, but like I needed comfort food. So that's what I'm re-listening. So there's one scene where Moody says constant vigilance. And it's like, yes, we need constant vigilance because our brains and our thoughts will lie to us 100% of the time. 100% of the time they lie to us.
Feelings too.
Well, no. Your feelings can never lie to you. The thoughts about your feelings will lie to you 100% of the time, but your feelings can never lie to you. Again, we attach something to that feeling.
And yeah, okay. The thought is the thing that's not right, but the
Precisely.
reaction to it
Precisely. Is. Yeah, that's why Byron Katie's work is so fucking brilliant. Right, you love it as is. Like it's like there is it happening? Yes, then then it should be happening. Right, like there is zero. Like there is like
it's like that's
it.
What the universe says put there.
Right.
Who are you to say no?
Right. This shouldn't be happening. Well, but it is. So then.
Dude,
is that really true?
That was the bane of my existence for like decades. Like, I don't want it to be this way. Like, well,
exactly. That should never happen. Well, okay, but it did. So
yeah, it is this way.
Right. Yeah.
It's not right. Just
Loving what
it is. Everybody out there, it is right. It's the way it is.
Right. And it's only our thinking that makes it not so.
Exactly.
Right. Yep. And I say that's a simple thing. It is not easy.
No.
It is simple.
Really, yeah, a lot of this stuff is simple.
But not easy.
It's not easy.
No. It requires a what I call fierce. I fierce happy women. That's my sort of coaching. That's my group. And I call it that because it requires a commitment to being fierce about happiness, which means surrender. It means allowing. It means trusting. It means not fighting with reality. That's like that. You have to be fierce about your own commitment to yourself. Right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I remember, just so people know, like, that they're not alone. This feeling. I remember like listening to Michael Singer, and he was saying, like, you know, because I listen to him all the time. And he's saying, you know, this is like every moment of your life you have to commit to this. This is there's no break from this. Like you do this. And as like in the beginning of the personal development, I was like, well,
yeah.
Take the weekends off.
I'm gonna do the 80-20 thing. I was like,
and I mean, and that, you know what, and I think that's where I was, you know what I mean? And as I got deeper into this work and had someone who knows what they're talking about and can guide me through it, it's like, yeah, okay, this is it. This is what's happening for the rest of my life at every moment.
Yeah.
But also that kind of thought made me a little anxious, because it's like, does that mean like all of my, well, not, but like half of my focus is always on this?
Well, no, honestly, because I mean, ultimately, I'm at this place now where I have like micro corrections through the course of my day.
Okay.
Right? Like I've done this work for so long now, and I don't claim to be an expert. I wallowed for 3 days, Monday through Wednesday, right? So, but like I was just saying this, I was saying this to my client this morning. It's like life hands you lemons, right? Like we're in the school of hard knocks. It's Earth. It is the school of hard knocks on purpose. But we have the tools, we have the resources, so that we might tap like a low energy. It's because we can't have light without low. We can't have high without low, right? So you can't be light without the shadow. You can't have happiness without sadness. Like you need the contrast, right? You can't have abundance without lack. Like so there's always going to be ebbs. Everything's a wave. Everything's a wave.
Everything's energy.
Everything's energy.
It's
right?
all energy.
if we attach to a specific outcome, place, state of being, now we're attached to it. Now we're chasing it. Now it's outside of us. Now we can't have it. If everything is okay, and you make peace with things as they are, then you're gonna have ebbs and flows. But it's like a course correction. It's a micro adjustment. It's like, okay, I don't feel in flow right now. I don't feel happy. I don't feel right. So like, I'm going to just ride this. I'm going to like, is it my thoughts? Is it something I'm doing? Maybe I'm just right. So like that's when you start asking the questions. Is this mine? Is this up for me to heal? Can I be grateful for this emotion right now? And can I be grateful in this experience that may be painful because I know it's up leveling me? Right. I felt like I told you, I felt like shackled. And then I got to do this amazing group healing with my teacher, beautiful colleague, amazing healer, Lisa Campion. She did this beautiful group healing on Wednesday. And I literally felt myself come out of a cocoon. And I've been like railing and screaming and yelling and like, why, like yelling at God and whatever. Right. Because I'm still human. And I realized when I came out of the chrysalis, and I felt this, like, I got to be like rainbow cosmic dust. Like it was amazing. And I needed to come out of that chrysalis. And if I hadn't done that, then I had to do it. I had to go through the struggle. Nobody was holding me down. I wasn't a prisoner. I wasn't a victim. I had to, in myself, decide the change was worth it. And the pain was worth it.
One of the things, I
have 1 minute because I have a client at 12.
All right, okay. All right, you know what? Then we can transfer into just becoming untethered Friday.
Yeah, like let's all be rainbow cosmic dust.
Let's all be rainbow cosmic dust and be grateful for the opportunity to become rainbow cosmic dust.
Yes, exactly.
So, Robin, this is awesome. It's awesome every week, and I'm just excited for the times that we can actually do an hour, because I can talk to you for like 500 hours.
And this is stuff I will talk about forever, because it's the stuff I eat, breathe, and sleep, and teach, and love. And I want people to get it. I just want people to get it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Feel better. Feel better.
Right? Feel. Right. Just feel. Just feel.
Yeah.
Start with that. Just feel.
Just feel.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So I'm going to let you go. Everybody out there, thank you so much for tuning in. And we will have Robin Thomas maybe at 2:00 next week, but probably on Friday.
It'll be Friday next week. I have Lily. She gets out of school at like 12:15, so I will have to figure out. We have to. We'll talk about time, but
okay, we'll talk about that. All right, everybody. Thank you. Bye bye.